Now, the NBA scouts have officially given their opinion on Bronny James, and this is shocking. Now, overall, he looked far ahead of expectations as a freshman playing his first college basketball game. Now, in my opinion, a lot of people were very surprised that most people were even calling Bronny overrated after they saw him come back from obviously having a heart surgery. Now, in my opinion, I think on the defensive end, Bronny definitely did a lot of damage. And I think it's just a matter of time before he really starts to gel with this USC team and even be more dangerous. Now, we also said James showed some of the ways he'll be able to help USC with his defense, spot shooting, and unselfishness, all areas the team has struggled with this season. And that's a fact because you know a lot of these dudes that are on the team, Boogie Ellis, Isaiah Collier, man, these dudes love to have the ball in their hand and shoot. Where Bronny is one of the unique players amongst a lot of dudes who only focus on scoring that is able to, one, play solid defense. He likes to lock people up. And two, what does he do? Get his teammates involved and get assists. And that unselfishness, for sure, I got to agree with bro, is definitely going to help this USC team. In addition to obviously him having those crazy genetics and athleticism, and just being overall a talented hooper. Now, we also said offensively, James is much more of a work in progress. He looked quite passive considering how long it's been since his last competitive game more than 8 months ago. It's understandable to an extent, but James showed similar traits in high school. And that's obviously true too. We know Bronny has been somewhat passive overall. And I think we all just got to remember, it is his first game. He definitely has some time to kind of ease in and try to get comfortable with this college squad. But if he's trying to play with LeBron in the NBA, I mean, man, then on the other hand, he really has to move quickly and get adjusted pretty soon. But I think for a first game back overall was pretty successful. Now, bro said no glaze, but I think y'all forget he's a freshman. And this is a double-edged sword, right? Because on one hand, yes, he's a freshman, but you got to understand, he's not just any freshman. He is the son of LeBron, and everyone's going to compare him to his father, number one. And number two, there's already a ton of pressure on him just being in that situation, but also potentially playing with his father in the NBA, which, man, we just cannot forget he is not just a freshman. Now, also, bro said, I mean, for a freshman and coming back from injury, he played solid, give him time. And I think that's all Bronny needs. Give him a little bit of time, a couple games, and he is going to be solid. Now, next, we got to talk about Bryce James. Bryce is back hooping for Sierra Canyon, and they played against this team from Australia where they won by 59 points. Oh, man, we got to see what Bryce was doing out here. Now, they actually ended up winning this game 99-40, which is wild. I don't even know why they're playing this team at this point, but here's what those highlights looked like. Now, I got to say, overall, I mean, Bryce was performing pretty well. This team definitely did not give them much of a challenge. And even people were saying in the comment section, he plays like older Bron and Bronny plays like younger Bron. And low-key, I mean, you see Bryce is a little bit slower, but he takes his time with his shots and he was scoring the ball. And even, according to a lot of people, scored 14 points during this game, which is much better than what people were pretty much talking about, him being overrated and just overall overhyped. Now, yes, definitely he has the genetics and the height, which is going to go a long way. But overall, I think as he continues to just work on his game, again, he kind of seems like somewhat of a dude who's going to take time to develop that killer instinct on offense. And if your team is winning by 60, honestly, this game just does not mean much at all. It's really those games that are tough that really are going to show, what Bryce is actually made of. Now, this person said, I think because he's scoring easy, people don't respect it. He's not forcing anything and playing within the system. Everybody can't be like that. Obviously, he's talking about Bron. Bro, let him make his own name and have his own journey of success. Yeah, I mean, on one hand, man, you got to understand his genetics and everything plays a factor here. And just this team overall just really didn't seem that talented. But if you really want to say and show how good Bryce is, it's going to be when they play against these really tough teams, which Sierra Canyon does. If he plays well in those sort of games, I think that's going to add a ton of credibility to his game. Because a lot of people just are not buying that Bryce is that good. But I mean, at 6'6", and you can shoot the ball. I mean, you might not have the best defense out there and the best handles, but you're developing and working. I think a lot of people are willing to take a shot on Bryce just because of those genetics and, of course, his last name. Now, we got to talk about the next NBA son, Scottie Pippen's son. Now, he was playing exceptionally well, and let's take a look. Now, I gotta say, his jump shot is fire. I mean, he's knocking down most of his shots here, and he looks pretty confident on the court. Now, I'm not sure what year he is, but I believe he's one of the leaders of this team, clearly, with how many shots he's putting up and even how many he's knocking down. I think that jump shot is definitely going to bring him a long way, and it's fire to see sons of NBA players that are not just overhyped, but actually have a lot of talent, which I gotta give it to him. Offensively, bro looks like he has it down. Now, a ton of people were saying everyone's kids are good but Michael Jordan. And that's a fact. Michael Jordan's kids were busts. Or it seems like everyone else, kids really have a lot of talent and a lot of capability out here to play at a high level D1 and even have a chance to make it to the NBA. Now, will these kids be better than their fathers? Probably not, but they definitely have a lot of upside and a lot of potential. Now, we got to talk about another one, Elijah Arenas. He's been trending like crazy recently, and he actually dropped 37 in this recent game in their win, and actually he reached 1,000 career points. And I believe he's only a sophomore, so let's take a look. Now, Gilbert Arenas is doing something right because his son can't hoop. I mean, bro is obviously an NBA player and pretty critical of other younger hoopers. But, I mean, you see him here. He's pretty confident. He's knocking down his shots, pretty aggressive with the basketball. And I see why he scored 1,000 points. Now, I don't know about this competition that he's playing, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He is pretty young still. And to put up that many points is super impressive. Now, 37, yeah, but like I said, as a sophomore is kind of wild. Now, people said he's playing in slow motion, dangerous. It looks too easy for him. And hopefully that's not just because of the competition, but overall, I mean, he definitely looks pretty dangerous on the court. I got to agree with this one. Now, we got to talk about Rob Dillingham, and bro is potentially leaving Kentucky. A lot of people have seen Rob Dillingham on these draft boards, and there's a good chance that he could be a top pick for the 2024 NBA draft. Now, recent statement dropped saying most outlets actually had Dillingham ranked 4th in Kentucky's 7-man freshman class, but he's establishing himself as the most dynamic of the group. And you know Rob Dillingham, he's flashy, he does a lot, can get his teammates involved. It doesn't seem like there's much that can really stop him on the court. Now, if he maintains his efficiency, there is little doubt that he will be in the first round consideration by June and could be in the discussion ahead of DJ Wagner or Edwards, depending on how they perform going forward. Now, I'm going to be honest, man. DJ Wagner was ranked number 1 in the country for the longest time in high school. So to see Rob Dillingham potentially being ranked and drafted above DJ Wagner is kind of wild. And some people early on saw DJ Wagner was somewhat struggling. But overall, I think both definitely have a lot of upside and potential. But man, Rob to even be passing DJ Wagner is kind of crazy. Now let's take a look at a couple of Rob's highlights here. Now, I mean, you see him overall. I mean, look at the jump shot. Smooth. He's playing defense there, laying up the ball, aggressive. And I just like his overall game. Super nice jump shot. Definitely aggressive. Takes the ball to the basket. And again, I think Kentucky definitely got a W when they picked up DJ Wagner.